You found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Somebody's going to win, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to win in this quarterback battle at UT. And I'm going to tell you something. Let's not laugh. I think George McIntyre, as I wrote yesterday on the blog, and I'm standing behind this, I think he's having a really good summer so far. And I think that's kind of interesting. That's sort of an interesting development, if you will. So welcome on in. John Adams is here. He's presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Where am I going here? I'm all over the place. All right. I'm trying to figure myself out here. All right. Let me get myself acclimated. What are we doing here?
You're accustomed to doing the show in Pennsylvania.
Well, we really need to set these shots up. If I don't want to get, I don't want to get whatever I want to get here. All right. So here we are. By the way, a huge Tennessee basketball report over at tclub.team today to celebrate the football season. This McIntyre guy is really come to play in camp, which is pretty interesting. I'm of the mindset, John, that none of these coaches want to play true freshmen unless they have to. And McIntyre's made this thing. He's making it a race, which I didn't think he would. I'll be completely honest. I didn't know that that was going to be a serious thing. I think a lot of us just kind of assumed that it would be a fait accompli. They would show up. They would have a couple weeks of practice. McIntyre has been pretty good so far early in camp, which is an interesting development.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but it also could be problematic because if McIntyre wins the job, he's not a mobile quarterback. And I think you need a mobile quarterback in Josh Heupel's offense. And if he wins the job and he does okay, then he's your probable starter next year. And Faison Brandon is gone. I think most people would conclude that Brandon has more potential.
Matt Dixon, I bring you in, and Brian Hartman. John presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. She's the absolutely next level. She's incredible. Tony, are you wearing a soccer shirt? Yes, I am. This is a shirt from the Celtic Football Club. Brian Hartman loves it. He wishes he had it. The caller, Drew, gave me this last year down at Calhoun's. And I want to thank the caller, Drew, for that. And caller, Drew, thank you for that. So there.
Do you play favorites? If somebody gives you something, are you apt to give them more airtime?
No. In fact, I've gone out of my way at times to block Drew,
Because you don't want to send the message like you can be bought.
oh no, I can be bought. I'm like anything.
Oh.
I'm like any elected official or anybody out there, John. I can be bought.
What is that static in my?
I just had to run the volume up there. Sorry. So, Matt Dixon, your thoughts on this development in camp? That George McIntyre is making this thing a real race. He's having a pretty good camp early on. Now, obviously, you've got a scrimmage later in the week, and he's got to show that he can consistently make decisions in that scrimmage and be trusted. But he's really had he's had a pretty good showing here, Matt.
Well, it's certainly not a bad thing, but I'm going to hold off judgment until after one or two of the fall camp scrimmages to really say it's a QB battle. But it's good that he apparently is having a great start throwing against there to make it maybe somewhat of a QB battle. I still think Faison's the favorite to win it, which is a flip from what it was going into the spring. But I think it is a good sign that he has shown up and, competing for the job. But
yeah.
It's I mean, I'm not even sure they've had how many full pad practices they've had. So I'm going to hold off on anointing him as, a big turnaround, but it is good to hear.
Matt brings up a really good point. Deion Sanders is doing something interesting, John. They're doing a thing where he's letting the media see all of his practices. I don't know if you've seen this. Everything's open in the summer. Here's the caveat, though. I want all your electronic devices, and I want them checked. Kind of like when you go to Augusta National. So you're allowed to you can talk about practice intelligently because you can see it. But yet, if you talk about formations or if that kind of stuff gets out, he's going to come after you, which is fair. I think that's a fair trade-off. I think other schools, John, ought to go to that. This thing of giving the media 7 minutes and then we're all in the dark, because I'm relying on my people for this. I'm relying on people that I trust internally that tell me. And then I had a couple of former players who had eyes on it the other day that were at one of the weekend practices. So McIntyre looks totally different than he looked in the spring, completely different. And that's carrying through here the last couple practices as well.
One thing in my experience, a couple of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
First of all, when you say McIntyre's looking different, people are so starved for football at this point because we're almost there to kickoff time. And I think in fall camp, everything is magnified. So if a guy throws 3 pretty good passes in a row, they say, wow, this guy's coming on. I just think there's a a tendency to amplify everything that you see when you do go to a practice session, because
That's
that's
all you
all the
see.
firsthand knowledge
That's
you
all you see.
have.
That's right.
I think it's more helpful. You talk about Dion. What he's doing is to, if you stay in there the whole time and watch everything, you get much more complete view. It would be like a fight. If you watch the first 30 seconds of a 3 minute round,
Yeah.
you get one opinion, but then if you watch the whole thing, it's completely different. So I don't know about that. I don't think that will ever come to pass. When we had Chris Lee on, he talked about the media could see more Vanderbilt practices. He got his impression of Jared Curtis, the freshman
Yeah.
quarterback,
Yeah.
and gave his comments on that, which was insightful.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
good.
it is helpful.
Yeah.
It is helpful, but there's just this thing about when you think about football in general now, the fan and the media, because the media is a conduit to the fan, and you're just kind of being squeezed out.
Yep.
There's less inclusivity. That's a buzzword now than there used to be, and it's just it puts a more distance between a program and its fan base.
That's why the NFL would never do what college football's done. The NFL still remains. Now, look, when it comes time for them to install game stuff and it comes time for them to work on, and they kick the media out too, but not 7 minutes into a practice.
No, and here's another thing, Tony. There's so many evaluating what's real media and what's not. I mean,
That's exactly right.
that is something
That's a problem
that's
today.
challenging.
Yeah.
Because I think if you get the beat reporters out there that cover the team every day,
Yeah.
they are going to abide by the rules. They see
Right.
the advantages, so they will fall in line and do what's necessary in order to see more practice.
Right.
Okay? But you can't trust everybody to do that.
Well, like today, today I wrote a piece today based on a lot of intelligence around the basketball situation and said some things that I'm sure the coaching staff's probably not going to love, but the truth is the truth. And they were forced to go get this Washington guy because they struck out on a couple of those big men, and those guys were horrendous. And I just wrote it because I'm not going to pretend. But when you have to play the access game, you have to soft pedal, and so I totally get what you're saying. My belief is that they ought to have a list of accredited news organizations, and you should let people in. But I believe, like Chris Lowe told me a long time ago, and he's probably right, 15 years ago, he said, these people eventually are going to have their own arms inside each university, and that's how they're going to disseminate information. That's their end. And if you remember, one of the first things Danny White, who's a great fundraiser, by the way, said is, we're going to stop the leaks. It's one of the first things out of his mouth when he took the job. I didn't say it, he said it. I don't know where all these leaks come from. That's the new modern mentality. Instead of, I want you talking about my program. You talking about our program is good for and I want our fans to be, that want to be informed about it. I want them being informed about it. So there are people in here telling me on the comment section today, I don't believe what you're saying about George McIntyre. Okay. That's
Well,
fine. And I get it. Look, you can believe it or not believe it, because he wasn't very good in the spring. And I wonder if those coaches, John, back to that, I wonder if they made up their minds back in the spring, and that's kind of where we are. I wonder if this is all just sort of window dressing, and they came out of the spring saying, we can't trust this guy. Or we had somebody on YouTube say the following. I want your thoughts. Coaches are going to go with the guy that's a higher floor, but maybe even a lower ceiling guy, which I think he is compared to Brandon. If you go under the supposition that the guy that's been in my program a year longer is going to make better decisions, I'm not sure based on the spring. You can say that about McIntyre. That might be what they're thinking now, though. This guy's got another year under his belt. What are your thoughts? I think it's very interesting here.
Well, yeah, it becomes a matter of trust, and I think there's a tendency on all coaches to go with the guy when coaches talk. Yeah, when coaches talk about quarterback play,
Yeah.
they'll start saying he gets us in the right play. He has good command of the huddle. Things like that are really don't seem to be talent based.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching a game, you don't necessarily focus on that. You don't know the play to which he audible. He looked at a defense and said, "No, we need to run the ball here. I'm audibling off the run." All that goes into it. But here's the thing too I wonder about. Do you think the coaches want to do things to help the quarterback look better? In other words, with McIntyre, give him things that work best for him. The coaches have a better understanding of that. One thing that coaches want to do, coaches just are obsessive about competition. Even if coaches know in every position who the starter will be, they want to say, no, it's wide open. They want to keep pushing these guys because competition makes everybody better. So I think there's a lot of things that we're just not privy to, and we're not mind readers, so we don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But so what I just look at type quarterbacks, and I look at Faison is a better running threat. And I think that's really important in Josh Heupel's offense. I think it's very important.
Matt Diskin, you're not buying. I think one of the reasons why Matt's
not buying yet. No.
I think one of the reasons why Matt doesn't buy and why I'm having trouble buying, even though I'm reporting what I'm reporting, and I can only report what people tell me, John. I can only and then shape it or talk about it, and after you put it out there, which is McIntyre's having a good summer. He's having a lot better summer than I thought he would have. I thought he'd roll over and get hammered, like he was going to get. He's playing better than he was in the spring. But here's the issue. To John's point. When you get him in these scrimmages and they get him in these positions where he's going to get uncomfortable, is he going to make the right decisions? Kelly Holcomb said about him in high school, he said, I was very surprised Tennessee was interested in him. He said, yeah, he has the physical. He's big. He's tall. And he has a good arm. He said, but what he didn't do in high school, and it's why his team didn't win, he said he was not consistent. He was up and down. He was making not right decisions in high school. And he said that, so this is him saying this publicly, it wasn't me. It was him on the Plaster Show a couple weeks ago. He said, I was surprised that they took him, and I was not surprised that to hear you and others say what you said about him when he got the lights on him in the spring, because that's the guy I remember from high school ball. And I wonder, Matt, if this is an exception here where this is a guy that's got more time in the program, but yet he already showed them back in the spring, I kind of can't be trusted. I wonder if this is going to be the exception to the rule, Matt, even though he's having a good summer.
Yeah, no, I think that's certainly possible. So we'll see. I find it weird when you have a highly ranked quarterback coming out of high school who didn't necessarily have a ton of success at the high school level. I've always found that kind of an interesting deal, because usually if it's a high level, like McIntyre was, usually they would elevate their high school team to. And he kind of struggled. But on the flip side of that, sometimes struggling in high school better prepares you for college, because you're going to face adversity. And a lot of these highly ranked guys have never faced adversity in sports till they get to college, and a lot of them can't handle it. So it's a kind of a weird deal with McIntyre that he struggled so much in high school. And I don't know what his situation was with, where he was at and who they were playing against. But I've always found that interesting with, especially quarterbacks. And like you said, when when you face a pass rush, when you have a no non-contact jersey on, like that's when it gets real. And we've seen time and time again, and we've talked with Watson Brown about this, how even the best quarterback coaches in the sport really don't know what they have until you get in a real game with guys, and they're surprised all the time by guys who are just incredible practice quarterbacks, but once they can be hit in a game, they get happy feet, or their decision making just falls apart, and it happens across the sport, even in the professional ranks.
I think another component to this is that, and we see this all the time, when you're talking about quarterback competition in preseason, a quarterback with running ability, that ability is devalued in preseason camp or in the spring, because you're not going to let your quarterback take hits. Of course you aren't.
Right.
So you don't know what he can do, how valuable that will be. Well, when he's playing against Georgia Tech in the second game, he will take hits. And that value is enhanced. You got to keep that in mind. You look around the country now at quarterbacks, the top quarterbacks, how many of them aren't mobile? When you start listing the top quarterbacks, and it's really kind of getting that way in the NFL too. I mean, you don't want maybe doing what Jackson Dart did and trying to run over linebackers, but you got to have a guy that can run and also throw on the run and be accurate on the run. And I think it's sometimes harder to evaluate that in camps, preseason, or in the spring.
Brian Hartman, your thoughts on this? You've been reticent thus far.
Well, you hadn't given him a chance to talk.
Damn.
The
Hey. Verbal, not
coaches-
physical over here. Go ahead, Brian.
Coaches always want somebody to take the reign early in camp and become obvious who the starting quarterback is, make it obvious for them to who to pick. But also think it's a good sign that McIntyre is pushing perhaps Faison Brandon and I think that could actually help Brandon down the road in his development. I think that's probably
right.
good for him. That fact that he's a freshman.
Some tension here.
He's just the job. He's going to have to go and win the job in camp instead of just being anointed because the other guy is just going to struggle. I think that'd make him a better quarterback.
Here's the other thing about Heupel that's really interesting. This is when you start getting in the weeds here. If McIntyre goes out Saturday and plays really well, like let's say he's just a different player. He has a really good scrimmage, and we hear the hype coming out of it. Okay. All of a sudden, you're going to be in a spot where, and history determines this, right? Do I go with the guy that's more experienced, or do I go with the right guy? Kind of like the Joe Milton Hooker thing. Heupel hasn't always chosen the right guy. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about. And then to Matt's point, I thought, and I'm not knocking McIntyre kid, but back in the spring I was thinking, why? I haven't saying this out loud, but I can say it out loud now that he's playing better. Why? What did they see in him? Why would you go get a guy from a losing team, like Matt's talking about, who was kind of turning it over in high school, wasn't known as a great decision maker? I guess the thought is I can fix him. He's a big guy with a big arm. We can fix him, which is Milton-esque, right? But this Faison Brandon guy, and John, you talked about this on Thursday's show. There are very few of those guys that you stand next to when they're 18 years old, and you look at them and go, oh, you kind of look like a professional athlete right now. That dude's one of them. That guy is Jamal Lewis-esque in terms of just looking at. I'm not saying he's ready to play professional. I'm not saying he's ready to play SEC football. I have no idea what kind of player he is. None of us do, like Matt said. Till you put the pads on and you go to Georgia Tech, whoever draws that assignment can handle that well or not, will know. But, John, I think it's interesting you brought that up on Thursday's show. Just and then the way the kid carries himself too.
Yeah, we talked, Matt and Brian and I talked about this last week when you were in Pennsylvania. That's where you said you were. You were there a long time. I can't
Yeah.
prove you were in Pennsylvania, but we'll take that at face value. Uh, yeah, listening to Faison, he was very composed for a freshman dealing with the media. He was very comfortable. As I'm repeating myself, but I asked him how old were you the first time you were interviewed? He said 14.
Whoa.
He remembered the interview, which some of the questions, which I thought was interesting because what does that tell me? That he was very present when he was doing the interview, and I think that's important for somebody learning to be a college quarterback. When you're playing quarterback, you got to be in the present. You got to be in the present when you're taking instructions from your quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator, head coach. You got to be in the present when you're on the field. Your mind can't wander like our minds wander when we're doing the radio show.
Sure, that's right.
We were all over the place.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed at how he did that. He has this doesn't mean anything, but he has a good personality. He comes across as likable. I'm not saying that McIntyre doesn't. I'm just talking about Faison. I'm not comparing him.
Right.
But when I listened to Faison, I saw a guy that was very comfortable, and he wasn't trying to perform. It wasn't as though he's thinking, okay, I gotta try and be impressive and give good answers. I gotta show, this, I'm on stage now. I gotta get pumped. No, he was just very at ease. He was just having a conversation. And those always make for the best interviews when the person is just conversing. It's not an interrogation. He's just responding naturally.
And quarterbacks have to be different. And that kid's different. There's no doubt. I mean, you watch him. Somebody just said here on Cassidy, just said, when I watch Faison Brandon, he smiles with his eyes. That's a good way of putting it. The kid's just got a... Sir, who's clipping, clapping? Somebody that... Your mics are open, guys. Somebody's clipping and clapping. Somebody chewing gum. Anyway, so we're chomping at the bit as well. Getting excited. We're getting excited.
I wanted to...
Good. Brian, jump in.
Say that a running quarterback can sometimes be put at a disadvantage in fall camp because they don't face real pressure.
Yep.
They're not allowed to get hit. So I wonder if that sort of is closing the gap a little bit. Because
yeah, Brian, I'll like I said, I just think a quarterback, you can't really show what you can do. And we go back to Nico Yamaleava, and the more I think about him, I think he was mishandled. And I'm not being critical of the coaches. I understand why he was handled the way he was. You don't have much depth there. You don't have a real proven backup. So you want to be cautious with him. And you're breaking him in, and you don't want him running too much. But what you created with Nico was a guy, when he moved and he had to run, he was thinking about it. He said, okay, should I run now? Okay, should I go down now? And then I watched that guy at UCLA who was the Neuheisel's son.
Neuheisel's son.
The guy's an immediate. He steps in. He's a substitute offensive coordinator, play caller, no experience. He just kind of said, "Okay, let's wing it, guys," and that really was what Nico did best, just winging it.
Yep.
And you saw a different kind of player than the one you saw at Tennessee, and I think that's one reason they beat Penn State.
They just let him be athletic.
Because Penn State was not prepared for that at all.
Don't think.
Just play.
Don't think. That's exactly right. And I wonder if Faison gets the call from the beginning of the season, if they've learned and they'll warp things down for him and just let him be instinctive and physical and maybe the fact that GMAC's shown that he's playable.
Well,
maybe if he doesn't get the start, maybe now I can turn Faison Brandon loose against a Texas and just let it go, knowing that, hey, I've got a suitable – because I don't even know that they thought – and I'm being honest with you here. I don't even know that they thought they had a suitable backup quarterback. in GMAC after the spring. Would you agree with that, John? The stuff we were all hearing?
Yeah, but
I think that's where it was.
But Tony,
He's taken a step. I'm telling you, I don't know if he's going to start, but he's taken a step. I think it's a good sign. If I trusted Heupel to do the right thing at the quarterback position, and the right thing is play the kid with the upside. That's my opinion, but I'm not going to get in the middle of anything. It's never been my nature to do that.
okay, but Tony, you know how coaches do a lot of the time. They say things not as they really are, but how they want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
And when they talk about a player and they give his qualities, all we ever heard about Nico Yamaleava was how good he was at everything.
Never going to believe it again.
I'm
never going to believe it again.
At every aspect of the game.
That's right.
And that's not who he was.
Right.
But that's what they want him to be.
I got the GMAC stuff that he was having a good from two former players who've been there. And then another who was at the Saturday thing who called me and said, hey, this guy looks different than he did in the spring, which is why I wrote what I wrote on Monday's blog. If you go back and look at it, that's what I wrote. I said, look, I don't know if the guy's going to start or not, but he's better. He's showing life. There's proof of life there, I think is what I'm in the spring, there was very little proof of life around him.
Okay, let me ask you this.
All right.
If George McIntyre wins the quarterbacking job,
Yeah.
over Faison Brandon,
Yeah.
does the future of Tennessee football look better or worse?
Let's answer that as we come back on the other side. We'll go around the room on that after this.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
The High Noon line of hard seltzers is always a winner and always next level. High Noon vodka seltzers come in 14 flavors with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added, and it's gluten-free.
Personally, I'm partial black cherry and pineapple.
14 flavors.
That's as many bad takes as I've got in a week.
In the mood for a kick? Try High Noon vodka iced tea in 6 refreshing flavors,
Including peach and lemon, green tea, and half and half.
Feeling adventurous? Check out High Noon tequila seltzer in 6 refreshing flavors, including my favorite, Blood Orange. High Noon real vodka, real fruit juice. Live like the sun is always out.
Brought to you by High Noon Spirits Company. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
With Gary Sturm. He's with Mortgage Investors Group, making our community a better place every day. Gary, you've been at it 32 years, man.
Yes, Tony, I've been at Mortgage Investors Group for 32 years. We've known each other since, well, back in the 80s, right?
And we've gotten to know each other recently as our family has gotten involved with another mortgage. Through that whole process, you were a prince, just like Jeker. When he called you at 3 o'clock in the morning after a Tennessee loss, you've been giving your phone number out for a couple decades. And why is that, Gary?
This is the biggest financial decision you're ever going to make. You don't want to trust somebody online, some 800 number. You want to call somebody like myself that's going to give you my number, and you can call me anytime. I'm there to help you. I'm here to help you and your family, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your trust in me. You can call me anytime. You can be like Jeker and call me at 2 in the morning and complain about the Vols just like he did. I'd rather you call me about a mortgage, but that's okay. If you want to cry about the Vols, we can do that too. I'm a Vol at heart. You know that. And if you want to come in and meet with me face to face, I'm here. If you want to do it online, I'm here. That's fine. If you're curious if you can qualify to buy a house, people know the housing market's tough. That's what I'm here for. There's no obligation. You can call me anytime. I get you pre-qualified. Or maybe you've got a mortgage and you're thinking about refinancing. Maybe you want to shorten the term. Maybe you want to go to a 15-year. Who knows? But again, that's what I'm here for. It's what I've been here for 32 years. My number is 865-660-2648. It's 865-660-2648.
Gary Sturm at Mortgage Investors Group, going to take great care of you.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, get 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair when you schedule service with Pipe Wrench Home Services. Our licensed technicians are equipped to diagnose the issue, explain your options, and get the repair done right the first time. Don't let a small problem turn into a major headache. That strange noise from your air conditioner, the water heater that's not keeping up, or the drain that keeps backing up won't fix itself. The longer you wait, the bigger the problem can become. At Pipe Wrench Home Services, we make repairs simple with friendly technicians and fast, reliable service that you can count on. We'll arrive ready to identify the problem and get your home back to normal as quickly as possible. Take advantage of 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair and schedule your appointment today at pipewrench.com. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Restrictions may apply. Eligible for repairs up to $5,000. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
John Adams asked a question. He's presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Who knows? Jennifer Morris, I might be reaching out. As we welcome you back, 865-200-5402. Matt, somebody just told me online that they said, I'm not going to lie, Basilio, your swag game is on today. What does that mean, my swag game, Matt? Any idea what that person could be referencing, and is that a compliment?
Well, that's a compliment if they mean it, but it could just be another YouTube troll like you typically get. So somebody told me that you and John need to switch hats. I don't know what that means, but somebody said that you guys each have the wrong hats on. You need to switch.
Well, he has this Live Lucky line that he loves. He owns several of those hats in different colors.
I own like 15 of them.
People think it's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish hat that he's wearing. It's actually not. It's the Live Lucky brand. Mine is a Kangol that I bought off the streets of New York City, and it's like a what would you call it? A knockoff Kangol. I can wear it backwards if you'd like me to.
Yeah. I think it's better this way, but this Live Lucky cap, I wore one of these Live Lucky caps to a preseason practice. This was in 2017. There was a covey of media types surrounding Butch Jones, and Butch happened to notice the cap and said, Live Lucky, that's what I need.
Oh, boy. So my swag game is on.
They were being sarcastic, Tony. Your swag game isn't on.
I got my Kangol on backwards now.
Now it's worse.
Jeff Pearlman style when he was a young baseball writer. So here we are. It's pretty great. It's pretty next level. John asked a question. John, the question was?
I just asked, would you feel better about the future of Tennessee football if George McIntyre beat out Faison Brandon for the starting quarterback job?
Matt Diskin, around the room we go.
I don't know that it would change a ton. I mean, to be honest, ever since about midway through the spring, I've just assumed Faison's going to be the quarterback.
Me too.
At some point during the season, whether it's game 1 or game 4 or game 8, like I just assume by season's end it's Faison's team and program.
But put that assumption aside, Matt, and let's just say McIntyre's the guy. Speaking hypothetically.
I mean, if he's better than Faison, then that might be a little concerning because I think Faison's kind of has a chance to be the dynamic quarterback that you need to make a deep playoff run, and I'm not sure McIntyre has that upside.
But is that what they're saying? If these guys are the reason I don't trust coaches is that they're real creature comfort creatures. And generally, aren't they going to go with the older guy? Isn't that generally how that thing is going to go? And the adage is, I don't want a true freshman out there. I don't want to start a true freshman. Maybe, conventionally speaking, we all thought McIntyre before the spring, this was the thought. He'll start the first couple games. And then Faison Brandon. I remember, Matt, we were talking about it on the air back in like January. Brandon will be the quarterback by the end of the year because they know that in 2027 he's the guy with the upside. I mean, would that change the calculus here if that's what happens?
Well,
I don't think it would change the calculus. Do you?
If George McIntyre starts the first game,
yeah,
and the second game,
right?
I think who starts the Texas game will tell us more.
What do you think, Brian? Do you think that? What do you think, Brian?
Well, if McIntyre is the starting quarterback, that means that Faison was not who they thought he was. So I can't help but think how that could be better. I don't think could be better future-wise for the long term.
Good answer.
I don't know about that. I'm going to go here. It all depends on who the quarterback is at the end of the year and what that quarterback looks like. What if GMAC comes out and lights out? I mean, I have no idea. I don't think that's going to happen. But what if he comes out and it's like Mendoza Light from last season and he's throwing the ball all over the place?
Come on, Tony.
I don't know. Who knows? Hey, I'll tell you something. After that Nico experience, one thing I've learned, I'm in Team Matt here. I'm not going to know about either one of these guys till I see them on a field. I'm not making any proclamations. I am going to talk about like what happened in the spring because I know that's a fact that this guy really struggled and wasn't good, and he was worrisomely bad. It's almost like Tennessee's big people that they recruited and signed out of junior college, and the two that I named today in the blog have been horrendously bad. How horrendously bad? Did Tennessee orchestrate getting Washington to court? I don't know.
Well,
but they sure were there. They sure were there to pick up the and he. By the way, as soon as he won his court case, there was nobody else in the press linked to him but Tennessee. So let's just park on that for a second. My point is this: the coaches know, and the kids know, and I just think it's interesting that I had not one, not two, but three former players reach out to me and say, I wouldn't throw dirt on GMAC just yet. It's why I wrote what I wrote on Monday. I'm not getting it from the people that were blowing up Nico. These are people that have just kind of been there sort of watching, going, hey, this guy looks different. And I think it's worth noting. And I don't know what to make of it, John. I don't know if it's I don't know, what it means, but so John asked a question. I'll throw that out there. If McIntyre starts the year, do you view Tennessee's football fortunes going forward differently? That's what you're asking, right?
Yeah. Do you think the future's better or worse if that's the case?
Yeah, I think it has zero. To me, it would have zero impact. To me, it's more in terms of what does it look like at the end of the year? Because you're still dealing with a true freshman in Faison Brandon, and we all know that true freshmen. Let's go here. Last season, did the kid from Michigan belong on the field when they played Oklahoma?
Probably not. He was 9 of 24 passing. He was confused by Brent Venables' defense.
Okay.
But here's the thing, Tony.
Right.
If we're talking about a guy who's been a backup and is a redshirt sophomore or junior, that's one thing.
Right.
But McIntyre doesn't have much experience either. He hasn't played meaningful snaps.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get that.
So, if you're worried about experience, there's not the disparity in this competition as there would be if somebody is truly more experienced and been in the system for several years.
Here's my point. Maybe, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Faison Brand's going to be the starter, but it's worth noting that McIntyre's putting up a fight. Let's put it that way. I didn't think he put up a fight. I didn't think this thing was going to be any kind of competition. I'm not saying it's like, it's neck and neck. I'm not saying anything like that. I have no idea. I'm just telling you that he's been better than he was in the spring, and it's caught some attention. And I think that's a good development. I think that's a positive development because now as a coach, I can go, you know what? Maybe there's something here with this guy. And maybe we can let Faison be athletic early in the year rather than protecting him, knowing that, hey, this kid's improved over here. We have a guy can be a legitimate backup quarterback.
Yeah.
That's where I'm parking on it.
Okay. The people that are watching George McIntyre now, though, that have been a couple of practices and say, boy, he looks better.
Yeah.
How much do you think that might have been influenced by their opinion going in?
No doubt about it.
And they're thinking, well, all we're hearing is negative stuff about this guy.
Right.
So he goes out there and he does better than you think.
Better than what is the point, right?
Yeah.
Better than what? Yeah. That's a good, that's fair too. So 865-200-5402. The second thing I want to talk about is this playoff stuff is, and what they're going to do with the college football playoff is an interesting thing. Now, Heather Dinich reported yesterday that there's some kind of 20-team thing, and then both conference commissioners shot that down and said that's not real. So quit talking about that. That's not real.
So much for that reporting.
But you know what? Just because they say that doesn't mean it's not real. Because the way they are talking about what this 20-team thing would make sense. Because what these guys want is they're greedy pigs. And they only want what's best for them. They don't care about the sport. If you think Greg Sankey cares for 1 second about college football, you're out of your damn mind. If he cared for college football, he would not have taken Oklahoma and Texas out of their conferences and put them in his. And if you think Tony Petitti for 5 seconds cares about college football, he would not have destroyed the Big Ten, the Pac, whatever they were. I don't even know Pac-10's out there.
12. It
Pac-12.
was the Pac-10. It became the Pac-12.
Okay, thank you.
And now it's the Pac-0, though it has been reborn.
Now it's reborn.
But it's 0.
And all their games, by the way, this year, John, you'll be glad to know are going to be on YouTube.
It started as the Pac-8.
Sure did.
Pac-8, that's right.
I like the old. The Big 12 was once the Big 8.
I loved
the smaller conference.
Me too.
We need a conference called the Six Pack.
Presented by Dos Equis.
What? There's all this discourse about this playoff field.
Yes.
Yeah, if it were for the betterment of the game and
yes.
you want to expand, to me it's just so obvious. You go to a 16-team playoff.
Mm-hmm.
You have 8 games the first weekend. You don't have any buys. You seed them and go from there. that makes sense.
Here's what the leagues want, though. They want their automatic qualifiers.
I know.
And here's my question for you and Matt. If the SEC is all that in a bag of chips, why are they worried about, and the Big Ten, why are they both worried about getting 4 teams in? In a 16-team league, the minimum either one of those leagues are going to have is 4 teams. In a 16-team setup.
I think they are concerned about worst case scenarios. Some weird thing that happens, as can happen in a football game over the course of the season, and somebody else sneaks in there. But you look at the other conferences, the Big 12 and the ACC, I think the Big 12 has a potential at some point to have 2 teams in. If you combined the ACC and the Big 12,
which is probably what's going to happen,
and you had 3 conferences, then it wouldn't just be the Big 10 and the SEC. If you combine the Big 12 and the ACC, it could be competitive. It could be seen as an equal.
Sure.
And to me, that would be a stronger version of college football.
But here's the other thing. Say you had a 16-team league, right? That would still leave. Let's say let's say you combine those 2 leagues and everybody got 4 in. That's still 4. That's still 3 wild card teams you're playing for at the end of the year.
How much do you need? I mean,
right?
Yeah. And another way to look at this too is the 5th best team in your conference.
Yeah.
Really good enough to win a national championship?
I don't know. Was Oklahoma baseball good enough to win a national championship?
Baseball, different game. Different game.
Matt, you could have 5 teams from each of those big 3 leagues and then one group of 5.
That's it.
5, 16.
But why would you do that?
The 5th best team in the ACC Big 12 might not be much.
No, I want to leave it open. I want teams that belong in the playoff to be in. See, that's the problem with these leagues. You're talking Petiti and Sankey talk out both sides of their mouth. Which is it? Do you have the superior league with the superior players, with the superior money, with the superior boosters, with the superior this and the superior that? Then why am I going to give you 4 spots in the playoffs?
Because they're all about their league.
It's a joke.
But they say we're the best league in the country, but we want to make sure you give us this and this and this. They just want it all. I mean,
John, do you remember the old baseball? And by the way, Petiti, which I didn't realize, but The Athletic did a really interesting story on Petiti. He's the guy that expanded the Major League Baseball playoff. I didn't know that. He was like way up the chain, and that was his baby, and he brought it to market, and he figured out a way to get these enough owners to agree, and they expanded the playoff. And by the way, I don't think, Matt, you're a day in and day out Major League Baseball fan. Matt, do you like the expanded playoff? Do you like all these teams making the playoffs in baseball? Because I find myself less interested in it until the playoffs come.
Not particularly, no.
I just thought the World Series when I was a kid was probably the most special event in sports.
Yes.
And it was the American League versus the National League. There were unknown factors there. You didn't have interleague play.
Yes.
And you think the Yankees in the American League are the dominant teams, but I watched my team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, upset them in a World Series. But it's a 7-game series, so it's not just anything can happen in one game. But that event was so huge. Now the baseball playoffs, to me, the World Series doesn't have the same meaning to me that it once did.
Oh, no. But college football, if they go with this cockamamie 24-team thing, you're going to make your regular season goofy. You just are. Because as a Tennessee fan and somebody that covers it and is in here every day, I would expect my team to be in there 4 out of 5 years, or you're failing in a 24-team playoff. Your ass is fired. You missed the playoffs 2 years in a row here, you're gone.
Oh,
and that's going to happen with all these. This 24-team thing is, to me, a total non-starter. I think you would really mess the game up if you went with a 24-team. This 12-team playoff that they have, I know they want more money. I get it. They're very greedy. And that's why we're going to go to 16 or maybe 20. And the 20 format would make sense because you would have play-ins at the end of the year. That's what I'm back to this. The greed of these leagues, don't discount this. They said yesterday, oh, this would never happen, the 20-team thing. I don't believe that because I don't think they want to come off. The league makes something like $60 million from the SEC championship game. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Now, you take that thought and just park it there, and let's turn it into a playing game. We turn that into a playing game for one of our final automatic qualifying spots between teams. What would you do if you're going to do a play-in game there? It would be teams. Somebody help me out here. You guys are better than I am. 4 and 5 for that fourth spot. The 4 automatic qualifier spots. The Big Ten would have a play-in game. The SEC would have a play-in game. And then the other leagues could play their conference championship games. People would still watch that. If the Vols were involved in it, it would be a huge deal. And I'll tell you this. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. There's a hell of a lot better chance that we're going to be involved in a play-in game than we would the SEC championship game at this point. Now, I'm not trying to get funny. I'm not trying to get, Richard. I'm not trying to infect, and Sam and some of my boys that are, glass half full all the time. Let's keep it real here. John, what about that, using those playing games as a spot? Because that's what these leagues are probably leaning toward, if I had to angle and guess that's where that talk is coming from.
Okay. You say a play-in game.
Yes.
Do you have your 2 top teams in the SEC playing in an SEC championship
No,
game?
I do not.
What about this? What about at the end of the regular season, you seed the field for the playoffs, and you get your teams, but there's one spot, you leave a spot open, and you have 2 SEC teams playing each other in Atlanta that spot.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I would be fine with that because then, in a sense, you would have SEC championship game. Maybe I've seen some bad SEC championship games.
Yeah.
Some really good ones and some really bad ones.
This is something on the line, though. You do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because to watch that Georgia-Alabama game last year was just awful. I might as well have been watching a preseason scrimmage. They say, well, we're not going to penalize Alabama. And Georgia's just beating it to death. And you're watching that say, this team, as bad as Alabama looks, is now got a chance to play for the national championship? Are you kidding me?
Matt, are you for or against if they went to some sort of play-in format out of these major leagues, which I think is very possible? I think that could be your expansion of the playoff.
Well, I'm anti-playoff expansion and have been for years. So I don't want to keep expanding because it just continues to devalue your regular season. I mean, even if a play-in thing, if it's the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, what if the 3 seed beat the 6 seed on the road, in mid-October, and now they have to do it again?
Yeah.
How many on a neutral site? Which again, I hate. I'm anti-neutral site games, especially in the playoffs, and when the games really matter, they should be played on campuses. So I'm against all playoff expansion.
But that's where I go ahead, Bri.
I don't like a team that gains an advantage by not achieving. If you have a conference championship game, teams that make it shouldn't be penalized for playing in it and not looking so good, where a team that doesn't make it is really more at an advantage.
You're right there, but what is the thing? And that's what I thought going into that game, Georgia and Alabama. But the disparity between Georgia and Alabama, you're telling me, oh yeah, both these teams are playoff teams. No,
they're not.
What if Georgia and Alabama ended up playing each other in the playoff in Alabama by some miraculous act would have won the game. It clearly was overwhelmed by Georgia. I just you've got if you're going to play a game,
Yeah.
and this is what makes college, and this is to Matt's point too, because Matt wants games to matter. He wants regular season
We all
games
do.
to matter.
Yeah.
That I do too.
Yeah.
I want games that matter.
Yeah.
If watching that Alabama Georgia SEC
Did not
game,
matter.
Now I was always look forward to the SEC championship game. I looked at those conference championship games that day. That should be a great day in sports.
John, it would have been under the old system when it mattered. But what we've done now is we've created a playoff sport. And when you create it's kind of like this, look. As an NBA fan, and NBA fans know this, you watch your team for 82 games, but really what you're doing is you wait till the playoffs. Brian's a Celtic diehard fan, okay? And I got my Celtic stuff on today, but this is for the real Celtic. This is Glasgow Celtic. This is Scottish football. This is deal with it. This is Andy Lynch's team back in the day. This is history. This is in the soil, and the blood, and the dirt. Brian is a Celtic fan of Red Auerbach and Casey Jones,
Bob Cousy,
and on we go. Bill Russell. All those great battles of Wilt, and Sonny Hill. Sonny Hill was on the sidelines cheering. Brian, how many regular season NBA games do you watch?
From start to finish?
Yeah.
Probably none.
That's the point.
How many games do I watch? None.
That's the point. Now, if they had a 30-game schedule or 35, 40-game schedule, like college, if they had like a college basketball schedule to get into that tournament, we would all be watching it. But it's all about money. It's not set up. It's not set up to make the games better. It's set up to extract as much money out of the networks as possible. And what these people are trying to do is create inventory for the networks. So I'm going to say this. I foresee a day where both leagues win, they get a compromise on the 16-team playoff, but they figure out a way to tie 20 teams to it. And here's how they're going to do it. They're going to have playing games. And what they're going to do is they're going to take that fourth spot in both those power leagues, that guaranteed spot, and they're going to create a championship game between Team 4 and Team 5, not Team 3 and Team 6. Let's not confuse this thing. Team 4 and Team 5 for the right to be Team 4 from that league. And whether it's a rematch or you played twice during the regular season and now you're going to play 3, whatever the number is, they're going to move to this. Go ahead, Brian, because I think that's going to happen.
Why?
I really do.
You know why Alabama got in last year, the playoffs?
Yeah, because
they
Texas
won
lost
at
to Florida.
Georgia
Because Texas
in the regular
lost,
season.
Because Texas lost to Florida. That's why they got in.
And they won at Georgia.
A&M lost to Texas, too.
Yeah, and one of the things that's
exactly right, Matt.
And this goes way back, and we talked about this before, but when you go way back to we didn't have a playoff.
Game was better.
And you would have bowl games.
Game was better.
And you wouldn't always have there weren't contrived matchups, so you'd be, the best teams aren't getting to play each other.
So much better.
But now the best teams aren't necessarily getting to play each other either, because if you look, if you could have just sat there and looked at the SEC and said, okay, you got 4 teams going to the playoffs. Who do you want in the playoff? You would have taken Texas over Oklahoma and Alabama, and you wouldn't even thought twice about it.
The mystique of college football and the thing that made it so unique is gone.
Yeah, because
when you had co-champions and you had people arguing, John.
Oh, it got all kind of
so great.
But you didn't have you didn't
make the money.
You couldn't make it rain like you
no.
can
That's
now.
right. That's right. And we have to be honest here. Listen, if we think for 1 second that the Petiti guy or this Sankey guy care about college football, they're full of it. They could care less.
But they don't. But Tony, they are paid by the conference. They have to have their conference's best interest.
But
at
isn't
heart.
enough? Like Tennessee continues to raise all this money. When is enough? It's like
greed, man.
When is enough? When does Danny White say, that's enough? We have enough. Help a charity. No. I want your will. Put us in your will. We want all your money. Are you doing your estate planning? That's what they do with people. You want your estate planning. Why would you want to help people with your money? Help us. We need the help. Come back on the other side.
That's a good rant.
Thank you. 865-200-5402. John Adams presented by Jennifer Morris. She's next move, SmokyMountains.com. I love it. And the truth is, on a playoff, and then we'll want to go to the phones on the other side at 865-200-5402. Your thoughts on this? I don't know if it's a quarterback battle, but it's something. It's more substantial than I thought it would be. Heading into Falk, I didn't think we'd have any kind of battle. We'll come back. We're going to come back with more right after this. Oh, I got to do this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. What's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie. They underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsuranceTN.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance. TB with a few serious questions. You feeling tired? Foggy, you gaining weight, or you just don't feel like yourself anymore? Hormone therapy is finally becoming mainstream, but it's truly something my man, Dr. Tom Rogers, has been doing for over 20 years. Dr. Rogers at Performance Medicine wants you to feel your best, and he treats both males and females. So guys, we can do this as a family. At Performance Medicine, hormone therapy is personalized to you. If you're dealing with hot flashes or mood swings or low energy, decreased libido, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, it might be time to find out what your body really needs. No shame in this game. You can do something about all the above. Performance Medicine offers customized hormone treatment plans based on comprehensive lab testing with options like pellets, creams, patches, oral medications, and injections. The goal is simple. Help you feel like yourself again. Next level. Make your life better. Take it to the higher plane. Visit performancemedicine.net. Schedule your consultation today. You'll feel your best with Performance Medicine.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got two locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities, FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
The High Noon line of hard seltzers is always a winner and always next level. High Noon vodka seltzers come in 14 flavors with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added, and it's gluten-free.
Personally, I'm partial black cherry and pineapple.
14 flavors.
That's as many bad takes as I've got in a week.
In the mood for a kick? Try High Noon vodka iced tea in 6 refreshing flavors,
including peach and lemon, green tea, and half and half.
Feeling adventurous? Check out High Noon tequila seltzer in 6 refreshing flavors, including my favorite, blood orange. High Noon real vodka, real fruit juice. Live like the sun is always out.
Brought to you by High Noon Spirits Company. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
Nothing makes you realize how much you rely on your air conditioner like a scorching hot day in East Tennessee. You want more than a technician. You want someone you can trust. Schedule Pipe Wrench's $79 AC tune-up now because the heat is here. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 AC tune-up today at PipeWrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit PipeWrench.com for details.
Basilio here with my buddy, Kenexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. My son just texted us. He's in some terrible weather today in Chicago. He's hunkered down in a Costco.
It's
on the north side. They have a tornado warning going right over his thing for the next 10 minutes. They've told the shoppers, please stay in the store. They've told everybody to please stay in the store. And
it was already the windy city,
there
and
you
now
go.
you add tornadoes. Jeez.
There you go. 865-200-5402 is our numero doce, if you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us. And so, by the way, congratulations to the great Ben Rogers and his lovely bride from the Mariano wing of the Basilio radio family. Congratulations to Jeff Murr as well. But the birth of their baby yesterday, that is next level. Praise God for life. I happen to be a life lover. All right, so let's go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Talking about fall camp, talking about college football in general. Another thing I want to get into this hour is just the one thing I do like about this era, having spent time in the Northeast for 5 weeks, is there's the provincialism of my conference is better than your conference is better than. It's kind of fun. They're like, but you know, I ran into a bunch of Tennessee fans and SEC fans where I was, and it was it's entertaining because they're like, yeah, these Penn State people think the Big Ten's better, and you know, which league do you think's better? And I'm like, well, they do have the last 3 national champions, but this league wins the draft every year, and so I don't know which league is better. Which league is better, John? Then we'll go to the phones.
Well, I think right now when you've won 3 straight national titles, you're the best league. I think if you look at the top of the conference, the Big Ten's better. Overall depth of conference, the SEC's better. So it's how you want to. So both teams can say, but if you're the SEC and the Big Ten's won 3 straight national titles, just don't say we're the best conference because you kind of look silly. Don't say that.
But we are the best conference. This is the best conference. It's the best top to bottom. Who gets
top to bottom?
Let me ask you this, John. Who gets more bang for their buck, week in and week out? SEC or Big Ten fans? Just the experience of it. Bang for your buck.
The SEC.
Well, that's a better league.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the SEC. The SEC is a best league when you consider everything that goes along with it. But right now, when the Big Ten has won 3 straight national titles, you need to give the Big Ten its due. It's just a while back when the SEC won 7 consecutive national titles. When the SEC said, we're the best league in the country, what did it cite first? It didn't cite the draft.
No,
it didn't cite the recruiting rankings.
You're right.
All of which favor the SEC. It said, we've won these titles. So give the Big Ten credit. They've produced the best teams the last few years. But, yeah, if I'm going to watch if I were going to watch a game and I had no –
it's a superior brand
the
of football.
SEC, yeah.
Superior. It's a superior brand of college football.
But there's so much that goes into that.
Jinx Jones says it best. The SEC is the best conference from middle to bottom, not top to bottom. And the middle to the bottom
That's a good way of putting it. Although, and I said that all year long, but last year. But there were some mid-level games like, okay, Illinois versus Tennessee.
That doesn't count. Bowl games don't count. That's
both teams lost key players.
Now, bowl games to me, Matt, you count bowl games in that discussion, Matt? You counting bowl games?
No, I mean not maybe a little bit, but not a ton. That Music City Bowl was pretty even with the opt outs and it was decided on the last second on a field goal. It played Illinois' way with the shorter possessions and everything, but I mean it counts a little, but not much.
I think that's like arguing over like when Brian had that nut down there as a coach, Urban Meyer, and he's trying to win all the NFL preseason games. Okay, go win your NFL preseason games. Nobody cares. I mean,
well, no, but
people aren't even keeping score in these bowl games, Sean. People don't care.
It's always been used as a barometer. When the SEC is at its best, and it was winning all the championships, it was also winning a lot of bowl games. And when the SEC didn't win them, it had an excuse. I mean, the SEC, that's what I'm all about. That's what I've been in my whole life, pretty much. So I'm pro-SEC, and I think it's the best conference overall and over a period of time. However, I think you also have to give the other league, you got to give it props when it wins championships.
I think Music City Sam's got a good point. So if Miami doesn't allow a block punt or throw that interception late, is the ACC the best league? Do they claim the?
No, come on.
Well, that's
Miami
what
wasn't even the ACC champions.
See, that shows you how strong their league was. They weren't even the ACC champion.
Come on.
Well, I mean, if that's the criteria,
I'm not saying
we get better bang for our buck. This league is better top to bottom. It's not even a discussion.
It's better top to bottom, maybe, but it's not better at the top.
Huguenin thinks that their league has better coaches than this league.
I do too.
And he said, look at the last hiring cycle for proof.
Exactly.
He said they have serious coaches in this league.
You get Kyle Whittingham and.
No offense to our schedule, but that's one of the reasons why I get more hopeful about the upcoming season, because I don't know about the guy at Texas. I don't know about Texas. I think the guy at Georgia obviously is a serious football coach.
Yeah.
Now that Saban's left the league, who else is serious? Lane Kiffin's serious? Lane Kiffin's playing on social media half the time. I mean, maybe he is.
But he's a good coach, and I think Steve Sarkisian is a good coach. However, when I look at the Big Ten and its recent hires, SEC hires may turn out to be big coaches, but when you go get Iowa State's coach and you get Utah's coach who's been winning games for 20 years, those are better hires on paper.
I want to go to the phones. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. And it's
Tony, excuse me.
Go ahead.
But one of our callers last week when I was on, who was ridiculing you, very effectively, I thought, too.
Okay.
He said, oh, yeah, is this the geophysical year of the caller?
Every year is a geophysical. Listen, here's the saying on this show, and those that have been around a long time know this is the case. Callers come first here. Always have, always will. It's what we do.
Is Titans Bill holding?
I have no idea, but let's go to the phones. We just take them as they come. I don't screen you. I screen you out after the fact. But let's get our next call in. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello, Tony.
Hey, welcome in.
Hey, man, it's Rusty. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Rusty, welcome in.
Hey. Let's talk about the last three champs, since we're talking about which one's better. The Michigan team that won it all, beating Washington in the championship game. We saw them in the Rose Bowl the week before against Bama, and Bama was a better team. Michigan squeaked out a win in overtime. Bama fumbled the punt, kicked it around, was terrible. Okay, the year after, Ohio State was so far superior to everybody else in the playoffs, it wasn't close. Everybody talks about what they did to Tennessee up in Columbus, but the next week on a neutral field in the Rose Bowl, they beat the Big Ten runner-up. No, they beat the Big Ten champ. Way worse than they beat Tennessee. Then let's talk about last year. Ole Miss and Miami was pretty much the same result as Miami, Indiana. Miami just threw a pick on the last drive instead of Carson Beck running in a touchdown to beat Ole Miss coming from behind. Pretty much the same game. So they got the last three champs. Great. They've had the best team each of the last 3 years. If we say Michigan was the best team that year, they weren't. But 1 through 9, it's not close.
John, not close. 1 through 9.
And bowl games don't count. Bowl games stopped counting when the playoffs started.
Okay, let's look back last year. Oklahoma.
Indiana was the best team.
By far.
Although they weren't much better than Miami.
No, that was a great game.
Great game.
Miami was a great team at the end of the year. It wasn't a great team all year
I'm not
long.
sure Miami isn't more talented than Indiana.
Oh, that you saw that in the draft.
Look at it.
Brian, you saw that in the draft. I think that's an accurate statement by you.
Was Miami far superior to Texas A&M? No. Was Miami far superior to Ole Miss? No. Those were coin flip ball games, just like the Indiana-Miami game was. That's my point. There are several SEC. I mean, actually, Ohio State-Miami was a coin flip game too. So 1 and 2, 3, yeah, Big Ten's been great. 1 through 9, it's not. Tony, let me bring this up. You brought up why does the SEC want to have a demand of 4 teams in the playoffs, and I don't like it. I agree with you. But the reason they do is because of the 2024 season and the 2024 playoffs. The SEC had 6 of the top 15 teams. However, 13, 14, and 15, the last 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs were the SEC teams. Only 3 got in, Tennessee being the last, who was the 9 seed. That's why they don't want to ever let that happen again.
Well, just change the selection criteria. That's all you do. You say, okay, here's our formula.
I agree.
And these teams that finish here will take 1 team from the lesser league. Notre Dame gets in if they do this, whatever criteria is, which I don't like that either. I think Notre Dame, if you go to a 16, should have to join a league, should have to declare, either get in or get the hell out. They haven't won a national championship in going on 50 years, okay? 1988. I mean, hell, I was young when they won a national championship.
But here's the thing, when you talk about the SEC, to me, the SEC got more teams in 25, but in 24, the SEC was stronger, and it had more teams that could have fared well in the playoffs.
Rusty has a great point. Rusty has a great point.
But I look back at last year.
Bama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss.
Yes.
13, 14,
Change
15.
criteria. That's all you got to do.
All 3 of those.
Yep.
But if you did change it, who are the 2? Who is the one that gets in of those 3, and who's the 2 that gets left?
I don't
out
know.
of
it
the
depends on what your formula is. It all depends on, and you got to stick to your formula.
There was no way to decipher with a formula with those 3.
No politics. You should have a formula.
There's not a formula. That's the whole point of it. So they can have politics.
Matt is right. There is no formula.
But have a formula. What you can do that. These are bright people.
No.
The other leagues do it. Of course you can do it. Of course you can do it.
You can have a formula. That doesn't mean you'll pick the best
NFL
team.
does it. The NFL goes, okay, at the end of the year, you did this, head to head, league record in division, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. Of course you can.
Well, the NFL is letting in like 45% of the teams that are in their league.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Rusty. When I look back at last year, yes, Alabama and Oklahoma made the playoff. Mm-hmm. Those were not playoff teams. Those teams had too many shortcomings. I go back.
Oh, no. Texas was better than either one of them.
Yes.
By a lot.
I go back the previous year, and South Carolina was playing really well.
Yes.
And you could make a case that South Carolina belonged in. It beat Clemson. It had a really nice run. You could look at different criteria and say South Carolina would be a team that deserved in. You could look at Ole Miss's roster and say, man, if I look at the talent on that Ole Miss roster, that team could go head-to-head with Ohio State and hold its own. You talk about talent level, you go back to Miami last year. The way Miami was playing part of the year, if it had been in the SEC, it would have been a questionable playoff team. I think that if you look at Miami's schedule and what it did, but see, Miami at the end of the year was a better team, and Carson Beck played the best football of his career in the playoff, the smartest football of his career.
It's crazy.
He really came through for Miami.
It's crazy.
And so they could go head-to-head with anybody.
Hey, Brian, where did Florida finish last year in the league? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well,
they were 4-8.
4-8
They were like
overall.
12th or something.
That's the difference between this league and that league. In that league,
Oh,
there's no way in hell Team 12 beats a team where Texas is in their league. That is a 4-touchdown game. In this league, anybody beats anybody on any given Saturday. That is the difference between the two leagues.
Okay, but
that's why the SEC is superior. I don't care how many championships you win.
But then you go back to the top of the league. If you'd have taken that Indiana team, it wasn't going to lose the 12th best team in the SEC. There's no way. And Ohio State, it wasn't losing to the 12th best team in the SEC.
Those are the great teams. Those are the great teams.
I know, but see, these SEC teams, the top is not. It's not like when Georgia won the national title.
It's true.
And Alabama won in 20 and LSU in 19. Yeah. Those were super teams.
Hey, Rusty, the top has gotten diminished in the SEC in the NIL era. There's no doubt I don't know why that's happened. There's no doubt that Texas is very in reach for Tennessee if they play the right quarterback.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that's not the argument. The top isn't as dominant as it was. There's not a gap like there used to be. But your point and what John is saying still holds water, that Maryland isn't playing.
Nope.
What was Texas was maybe the 4th, 3rd, 5th best team in the SEC last year. Maryland wasn't playing Texas or beating them on their own field like Florida did.
Or like Oregon. Or let's just take Oregon, for example. Oregon was like 3rd best team in that league, something like that last year. Oregon would beat Maryland like they're mad at them. They would beat them by 5 touchdowns.
Right. That's the point. Now,
well, if you look at it this way.
Yeah.
Going into this season, here are the teams that I think will be the best in the Big Ten. Ohio State.
Right.
Indiana.
Right.
Oregon. And I think Southern Cal is finally going to be really good under Lincoln Riley.
How about this, John? How about Penn State?
Penn State
They got a whole new roster basically because they're the Ohio State Big Ten team now.
Yeah, they play nobody.
Sorry, Iowa State Big Ten team now. But look at this. They play Washington, USC, and Michigan. They miss everybody else with the pulse in the Big Ten.
It's an amazingly favorable schedule. I just don't think Penn State has the kind of roster that can capitalize on it. But, and here's another, to your argument about the SEC, its strength, its depth. See, that Penn State team could lose to the worst team in the SEC.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
But it might can beat the worst team in the Big Ten. But see, when I look at those top 4 teams, if I could place a bet, and I get Ohio State, Oregon, USC, and Indiana, those 4 teams. Now I take the 4 best teams in the SEC, Texas and Georgia for sure. I don't know who the next 2 will be.
Correct.
Let's say A&M and LSU. Mm-hmm. I don't know that.
Whatever.
But see, I think those top 4 teams in the Big Ten, I would take them over the top 4 teams in the SEC.
Of course. Yeah, nobody's arguing that.
Okay, but that's not just the champions now. We're going down. That's 4
teams. But the rest
teams
of the league is pure garbage. Like that Joe O'Sullivan guy who might or not be listening right now in Pennsylvania, who was on with us a couple weeks ago, and it was fun being there with my friends and all that. And he says, well, I'm taking 2 road trips this year. I'm going to go to Washington. Okay, you're going to Washington to see the stadium. You're not going to see the Penn State and Washington and a great football game. I mean, you're just going to go watch the stadium. Okay. And then the other one he was going to was Northwestern. You're going there to freeze off your begonias and see their 20,000-seat stadium they just built. I mean, what's the point? I mean, that's your league?
Let me throw this out there.
Go ahead.
I don't think Oregon on a neutral field wants any part of Georgia. And that's number 2 and number 4 in the coaches poll. That's the second best team in the Big Ten and the second best team in the SEC by the pollsters, by people that are voting. I don't think Oregon wants Georgia. So I don't think it's that much of a gap at the top either.
Well, but see, I don't agree with that poll. I don't believe Oregon's the second best team in the Big Ten.
That's fair. That may be fair.
And yeah, I mean, what I guess I'm trying to do. I'm an SEC guy. That's what I've been in my whole life.
Right.
And overall, it's been the best conference. It's the most entertaining conference. As the slogan goes, it means more. It really does mean more. You didn't have to put it in a catchphrase. But what I want to do is I don't want to ignore the fact that at the top, when the SEC's been at its best, it wasn't just the best conference from top to bottom. It won those big games. I've seen so many games through the years where it's the SEC team going head-to-head against the best team from somewhere else in a bowl game, and the SEC team says, yep, we're the real deal, you're not. I've seen a lot of those games. So I just don't want to sell the Big Ten short, and I want to be fair to the Big Ten and giving it credit for producing these kind of programs. I wonder, is it possible? Indiana, last year, what Indiana did made anything seem possible in college football.
Yeah, if you got the money. But thank you, Rusty. Great call.
And the right coach. Thanks, guys.
It didn't just have the money, though. Before it had all the money, it had the coach. It got Kirk Cignetti before it got as much money as it did. It got, It got some. I don't think it has.
Which to your point, goes here. These SEC coaches, there might be a great hire here. We don't know.
Yeah.
But on paper, they look very unimpressive. He didn't look impressive on paper. That looked like, who's the Cignetti guy? And
I know.
So you got to be open-minded, but you got to show your alumni base very quickly that you can win. When you establish credibility with them, that's exactly what happened to him.
And you know what? It's not just what a good coach Cignetti is. Here's something that comes into play.
Yeah.
Kirk Cignetti is he's kind of a combination Spurrier, Nick Saban. Because he'll needle you, and he's more business-like than Spurrier, and he doesn't have that folksy way about him and as much humor to him.
Right.
But he's kind of the ideal package for NIL now.
That's exactly right.
Because you look at Kirk Cignetti, how many schools in the country, their boosters would say, man, I wish we could hire Kirk Cignetti.
These football coaches that want to coach football are going to miss the boat in this era. You better be able to sit down with the rich billionaire people and let them in. And you better be able to do that. Like Rick, I'll tell you something about Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes had Mr. Haslam in that room when they advanced in the tournament a couple years ago. And then a short while later, he had him paying for Native Mint. And if you don't think those two things are connected, I can't help you. But that is exactly what Barnes is doing. I mean, exactly. And if you're at one of these schools and you just want to coach and diagram and draw plays and run practice, you're not going to make it. You have to be able to get your hands on the money when you need the money. And that is what Cignetti has done. It's highly underrated. Bino said the other day, he thinks Indiana's way underranked where they are coming into this season. He doesn't understand it.
Well, if you put Ohio State on Indiana's jersey, it would be number one preseason poll. No question. You put Alabama on Indiana's jersey, it would be number one. A defending national title, Alabama defending national title with that much talent returning, with a coach as accomplished as Cignetti, it would be number one. Might not end up there, but going into the season, it would be number one. And how in the world can you rank Oregon ahead of Indiana?
Let me get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Blake from Chattanooga.
Hey, Blake. Welcome in.
How you doing today?
Doing great, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you. I'm just doing my non-expansion rant. I'm with Matt on this. I've been against expanding the playoffs for a while. I don't mind 12. I do think 12 teams is entertaining, so I didn't mind that. Personally, I think 8 would be great, but I think 12 is kind of a sweet spot. I just don't like the idea of going to 16 or 20 because at some point we're going to start seeing 4-loss teams make the playoffs, and to me, they just don't belong. Like, if you want to cry at the end of the year that you didn't make the playoffs, go win your regular season games. And odds are you won't be crying at the end of the year. You'll be in the playoffs. And I just don't want to see mediocrity get rewarded. I don't want to see handouts. I want to see a good playoff with teams that belong there and that all could realistically make a run.
That's my problem that's my problem with the SEC and Big Ten saying we get 4. No, you don't. You don't get 4 no matter what.
Yeah.
Because if your fourth has 4 losses, and you guys beat on each other this year, I can't help you. You're not getting 4.
Well, and I agree with Blake. And here's another thing: when we're talking about the strength of the SEC, that bothers me, and you go to a 24-team playoff, it's already a factor even with the 12-team playoff. But as tough as the SEC is, and you beat a team during the regular season.
Yeah.
Think about this. In a 24-team playoff, you could say it's possible in the SEC that you could have a team lose 3 conference games to teams that all made the playoffs, and you're the 4th team in. And you lost to every one of those teams during the regular season, but now you start out even, and you're in the playoff too. It does take away from the regular season somewhat. On the other hand, if you got a 24-team playoff, think how November will be in college football with all those games having a bearing.
24-team?
24-team.
Yeah, that's the argument Petitti's making. Petitti said that's what we've done with baseball. But the problem is, again, I don't take the sport as seriously as I did before Petitti expanded the baseball playoff. There's too many teams in now. I know the Phillies. Now, the Phillies are fighting for a playoff spot. This team they have right now, I'm rooting for them not to make the playoffs. I hate them. I don't like looking at them.
But Tony, when I think about college football, I still say on Saturday when they tee it up,
it's a great game.
The college football is the most entertaining game in sport.
Not question.
Now that's how it is to me.
How about when they go 24 though? Would it be the same?
I still think when they play the game and I'm watching the game, and you got more teams and more meaningful games, I'm gonna be all into it. Like I said, I want to watch games that are meaningful.
Well, Texas last year when they lost to Ohio State, it knocked them out of the playoffs. Doesn't get any more meaningful than that.
I know.
You know what I mean? But now if you go to 24,
they got knocked out by Florida, really, when you think about it.
But if you go to 24, they wouldn't have gotten knocked out by Florida, and they wouldn't have gotten knocked out by Ohio State. And it diminishes because then you still know. Because if you go to 24, you're going to have 5-loss teams in the playoffs. You are. I mean, look at the team that finished. Look at the teams that finished like, 19 to 25. I mean, there's 4-loss teams.
Well, see, that's the thing I have a problem with because in college football, we always think in terms of top 25.
Yeah.
It's the top 25
Sure.
poll. It used to be top 20. It became top 25.
Sure.
When you look at the last teams in the top 25, I mean, nobody thinks of those as championship contenders.
That's the point.
They're not.
But to your point, it would be more fan bases alive for a spot. Would it be magical enough, though? Because Petitti's argument is we'll draw more eyeballs on the screens for these games. We'll draw more people going to the games. But my question is, would people really value a playoff berth when you're 23rd, 22nd, 21st, 18, 19, 17?
Well,
really value a playoff that much?
Well, look at what happens. You brought it up
knowing
earlier.
You're going to get killed in the playoffs?
Well, there's a mindset in other sports. If you transfer that to football, in college baseball, if you make the NCAA tournament in college baseball,
you're in.
You
have a
might win
shot.
the whole thing.
Sure.
As Oklahoma proved, as Ole Miss proved in 2022. Even in the NCAA basketball team, if you make the field, you can dream. You can be an 11th seed, and you can think, we might go to the Final Four.
I would really hate to diminish it. Blake, do you have anything else for us today?
Yeah, and just another add-on for just me being against. I mean, it's going to take away conference championships, which used to mean so much to teams and programs in terms of making a shorter playoff. Because you would see teams that have 2 losses and other teams in our league ended up with 2 or 3 losses. They found their way into a conference championship, and they're like, hey, we can slide into this playoff by winning this. And if we lose, our season's over. And then expand the playoffs. Teams aren't going to want to play in those games because they don't want guys hurt so they can be ready for the playoffs, which I get. I completely understand that. So it's going to make those games pointless, and they're just going to disappear. And I just don't want to see that. I just want to see teams competing all year, knowing, hey, there's X amount of spots. If we don't win our games, we're out. And there's nothing to cry about at the end of it because we didn't go win.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, there's a great debate going on in our YouTube channel about how, and there's a couple 150 people in there right now, which is a huge number live. And like, I don't know, like 1,300 or 1,400 people will view a 3-hour video, which is crazy numbers for you. That's a very good number for YouTube. Because generally you cut things up into short form is how you get clicks and hits and all that nonsense. But anyway, by the way, if you hit the like and subscribe button, it really helps us. Thank you. And I am going to drop that basketball video at some point. My day yesterday got away from me, but I do have a video. I do owe you a video on hoops presented by the great Gary Sturm. And we've got a great hoops report there today. Gary Sturm, Mortgage Investors Group. It's an excellent report on the basketball team. And we have a couple of different suggested starting lineups, etc. Things are starting to take shape in camp. We'll go back to our phones at 865-200-5402 if you want to get with us. I'm going to look at a couple different things here coming up, one of which is the projected first round of next year's draft. But I'm going to go back to Indiana real quick. Jinx Jones says the following. Indiana, Hoover's playing behind an offensive line with 5 returning starters. Now, Josh Hoover's been a turnover machine. Last year, that's one of the guys Tennessee talked to that they thought they could shake free from TCU. And I think he'd been a pretty good player in this offense. I think that Hoover guy been a pretty good player in this offense. I remember talking about it at the time. They almost pulled in the kid from Illinois, and then they ended up with the shotgun marriage with Joey that worked out. Right, but Jinx Jones says Indiana, because the conversation is how would they do in the SEC if they had to come in? Let's say they played our schedule. And you look down. He's playing behind an offensive line with 5 returning starters. He's only lost his elite running game they had last year. But they have a top 5 defense with mostly everybody back. If he cuts his turnover numbers down, they would be able to probably navigate this league, don't you think? Top 2, top 3 finish, John, wouldn't you think they'd make the playoffs out of this league?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think that, Matt, they'd be able to make a playoff out of this league or no?
Yeah, certainly they'd have the ability to if they're anything close to what they were last year. Yeah, I mean they're replacing a lot. They're replacing the number 1 overall pick, so it's kind of
that's huge.
A wild like their team last year would have won the SEC. Now they probably wouldn't have gone undefeated. They probably would have lost the game along the way. I mean they nearly lost to Penn State. But they would have been the best team in the SEC last year. Again, everything about Indiana's season last year is such an outlier in every way that it's really hard to judge. It'll be easier to judge them in 5 or 10 years what that team was last year because something just fell off the whole time because they were just so robotic and so good. In every aspect. I mean, they never turned, like you talk about Hoover and all the turnovers. Indiana never turned the ball over. I think they lost one fumble like in the first game of the season, like in garbage time, and never again. And Mendoza was just never turning the ball over. It was so weird how good they were and how just efficient they were.
Matt low-key subscribes to it was more than just great coaching going on there, John. That thing we were talking about back in the spring where there's a feeling within the industry that they were playing the game with the test in their hand. They were taking the test with the answers in their hand. John, do you buy it?
No.
Matt, do you buy it?
To a degree, but even if they knew what was coming, the players still had to execute on a down-to-down basis and not screw up, and none of them ever did. Like, even if they knew all that stuff, it's still a great coaching job to have all those guys on the same page and have them execute it, even if they had everybody's play calls and stuff like that. It's just a remarkable team.
And you have 11 guys in the field.
Very talented. I mean, they
at the
weren't
same time.
They probably weren't in the top half of talented teams that were in the play.
They only had a couple first-round picks last year. I mean, to your point, Matt, and they have a couple this year. It's not like they're replete with these NFL guys. What they do have is a ton of excellent college football players, and they know how to find them somehow.
Well, one thing Signetti does in evaluating players, he really values production. And he looks at a player and sees how he has made progress from one season to the next. And that really sticks out to him. If a player got better from his freshman to sophomore year, his production keeps going up.
Yeah.
He transfers one place, production still goes up.
Yeah. And I hate to ride my guy Jinxie today, but people are questioning why would they go get Hoover, because he was kind of a turnover machine.
Yeah,
he won't be there. I agree with Jinxie. He won't be. I'm buying Hoover taking a step forward.
Well,
just like the kid from Cal did last year when they put him on the field.
Well, yeah, I mean those things can.
Those people know what they're doing at Indiana, I think.
Yeah, I do too, and I think when I look at that whole league now, when I look at the top teams there, I mean Ohio State. There's no doubt Ohio State is going to be in contention, I think, every year, unless there's some bizarre circumstances, such a rash of injuries to key players. But I look at that league, and I really think Southern Cal is finally going to be good.
That'd be really interesting. That'd be good for college football if they come back.
You know what?
They're a good brand.
I know, and you brought
they're like us.
You were taking a justifiable jab at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
getting that free pass to the playoffs, pretty much. The idea that it would, and that was on Notre Dame's end, not on USC's.
Yeah.
Southern Cal's playing in the Big Ten. It's got a tough enough schedule. It still wants to play Notre Dame. Notre Dame's discontinuing that. Come on. That's, that to me, that's been a great game. And it's had
an
some
awesome game.
Epic individual performances through the years. And to let that thing go, that's unfortunate. But that was on Notre Dame's end. Not Southern Cal's.
865-200-5402.
That should keep you out of the playoffs.
That should keep you out. Matt, if Notre Dame goes 11-1 against their schedule, they should not make the playoffs this year. They have 3 games of consequence they play all year.
They play Miami. They play SMU.
That's it.
And no, there's one other team.
There's
they play at BYU.
At BYU. That's a real football game. It's not like playing at Tennessee.
No, of course not. No. So you look at that schedule, and it's just pretty much got a clear path to the playoff. And that's not fair to anybody else. Not fair to the SEC, not fair to the Big Ten. Why should Notre Dame just be treated like any other at-large team? Of course it should.
865-200-5402. I guess they still get great TV numbers, which is what this thing's all about.
Well, there you go.
And I'm going to shout out my friends at High Noon because our High Noon phone line is burning up today, and we're probably going to head to a High Noon Overdrive Overtime tomorrow on the High Noon hotline. Joe Kurt's going to be with us from Lady Vol Soccer. They debuted their jerseys over the weekend, and fui magnifique, as we say in Francais.
Didn't know you spoke French.
I don't.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
I don't. But
I
watch hockey, and I know my Lemieux and etc. But my friends at High Noon, listen, only 100 calories, no sugar added, gluten-free. You can live like the sun's always out, because we're going to kick back and pop a top here in a few minutes and get to the bottom of it. Presented by our friends at High Noon Hard Seltzer, made with real vodka, real fruit juice, 14 flavors. Check it out and live like the sun's always out. Let's go back to the phones. In fact, let's do that on the other side. John's got a proclamation that he wants to make, a position statement for the show regarding Faison Brandon, and if he is in fact the starting quarterback heading into week 1. But it's contingent upon Faison Brandon starting the year as the quarterback in week 1. We'll see if we can all agree on a position statement, because Matt and Brian have just been, I don't know, like wet blankets today. I don't know what you want to call it. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka. Handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka. T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka. Distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got two locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Marcos Garza, the Garza Law Firm. It helps so many people. He fires me up, focuses me, and prepares me to be better at what I do each and every day. I love Marcos. Shout out to Marcos and everybody there. One of the reasons we got back in U2's good graces, and several thousand people have found the program through that venue, is due to the work of Marcos Garza, because I was a bad boy on U2 all those years ago, but not anymore. I'm not a bad. I got Bono loves me now, and The Edge loves me, and Larry Mullen and Adam Clayton. They all love me. So Mr. Copeland from IRS Records loves me. Everybody loves us now. The great William Pattison and the Playbook are on the way next. We're going to continue. It's going to be a high noon overdrive overtime. That was a quick couple of hours we just spent together. What a blessing it's been. And here is the Playbook.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's high
noon somewhere, sun's up.
Yes,
it's
it
time
is.
for another high noon overtime.
Yes, it is.
The place where we kick back, pop a top, to really get to the bottom of it.
Presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer.
Made with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added and is gluten-free.
Live like the sun is always out.
And now, it's time for High Noon Overtime.
You know what we haven't done today, guys, is really laugh. Have you noticed that, John? We haven't had our
Usual moments of brevity today, and the show's been serious. We started off talking about the quarterback battle, and the show just got serious today. It was like a sports talk show almost with us on it. It was serious.
Well, you need to balance. You need to have balance. You can be serious. You don't want to be too serious all the time.
Good point.
Sometimes you want to be light. Speaking of light, Titans Bill, on August 20th, I think I've got the date right,
okay,
is Jennifer Morris's birthday. I would like to think Titans Bill will be singing happy birthday to her. Can I count on him or not?
Brian, are you forward happy birthday from
I absolutely am for that.
Well, Brian, would you put that in your schedule book? Tony won't remember that.
The 20th of August, that'll be easy to remember.
Hey, Brian, before we go to the phones, a shout out to Jennifer Morris. Jennifer, happy 25th to you. Looking forward to celebrating with you.
And what will she be doing tomorrow, Tony?
I want to be there. Can't say. But what will she be doing tomorrow afternoon? I'll be getting a download from... Oh!
She will have eyes on
the thighs and the prize, as it were. Butch Jones, what do you say? Eyes on your thighs. All right, let's move along.
He said a lot of bizarre things, didn't he?
He's a whack job. Brian, keep track here. You ready? And John, you too. I need two cross checkers here. Right out SEC. Right out Big, whatever they are. Big 18.
Big what?
Big 10, the Big 18. Write a column for SEC and Big 10 and just put a check or a slash as we go. You ready? 4 slashes and then 5's a line across. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, what is
all right, here we go. We're taking an NFL 2027 first round draft projection, and we're going to look at both leagues. Which league's going to have more players selected in this first round that we're talking about here? First round projected 2027 NFL draft. I'll speak English here.
That is really an odd question.
Which league?
Well, just based on history, I would say the SEC.
Brian, which league? Before we do it.
The SEC for
All
sure.
Right, here we go. Also, put ACC Big 12 out there just for the hell of it. Here we go. You ready? First pick in the draft, Arch Manning, quarterback, Texas. That's one for the SEC. Second pick in the draft, Dante Moore, Oregon. That's one for the Big. Third pick in the draft, Cleveland Browns, Julian Sayin, Ohio State. Put another one down for the Big. Fourth pick in the draft, quarterback, C.J. Carr, Notre Dame.
We don't count that.
We don't count them. Fifth pick in the draft, Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State. God, you imagine getting him in the fifth pick in the draft. All right, so what is that, Bri? 3-1 right now. Sixth pick in the draft, a near vol Jordan Seaton, offensive tackle, LSU.
Is he eligible for the draft already?
Yes, he is. Seventh pick in the draft, to the Tennessee Titans, Dylan Stewart, edge rusher, South Carolina.
That won't happen. The guy's got too many injury issues.
Eighth pick in the draft, Carolina Panthers, Leonard Moore, Notre Dame. Ninth pick in the draft, New Orleans Saints, Colin Simmons, edge rusher, Texas. 10th pick in the draft, Cam Coleman, wide receiver, Texas. 11th pick in the draft, Will Eccles, Ole Miss. 12th pick in the draft, to the Kim Commandos, KJ Bolden, safety, Georgia. 13th pick in the draft, the Vikings, Ellis Robinson,
Georgia.
Cornerback, Georgia. 14th pick in the draft, the Stellars, Drew Mestamaker, Oklahoma State. 15th pick in the draft, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Drake Lindsay, quarterback, Minnesota. 16th pick in the draft.
He's eligible for the draft.
I know. 16th pick in the draft, Tay Johnson, safety, Notre Dame. Notre Dame project to have 3 of the top 16 picks in the draft, and they can't play USC. Continue with my conversation here. 17th pick in the draft, Jaden Ball, running back, Florida. Very good player, by the way. 18th pick in the draft, New York Jesters via Dallas. Kelly Jones, cornerback, Mississippi Mistake. 19th pick in the draft, Cincinnati Bengals, Bryce Pollock, cornerback, Texas Tech. 20th pick in the draft, Denver Broncos, Jamari Johnson, tight end, Oregon. 21st pick in the draft, Cade Piper, offensive lineman, Iowa. 22nd pick in the draft, Zabian Brown, cornerback, Alabama. 23rd pick in the draft, Charlie Becker, wide receiver, Indiana. Charlie Becker going to go to the Cowboys.
He didn't drop the ball, I'll tell you that.
He's a hell of a player. Number 24, Houston Texans, Carter Smith, Indiana, offensive lineman. One of those guys Jinxie Baby was talking about earlier. 25th pick in the draft, Justin Scott, defensive tackle from Miami. 26th pick in the draft, Kansas City Chiefs, Nick Marsh, wide receiver, Indiana. 27th pick in the draft, Amari Washington, defensive tackle, Oregon. 28th pick in the draft, Pierre, the edge rusher from Alabama, to the gold standard. Howie Roseman led Philadelphia Eagles. 29th pick in the draft, Mateo Ichart, edge rusher from Oregon.
What's that name again?
Mateo, and I'll spell it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to buy a Val, Pat, or Vanna. Vanna's turned over a lot of letters here. There's a U, an I, and an a G, and an A, and an L, and an E, and an I, and an E, and an I. And he's an edge rusher.
What's his first name?
Mateo.
Okay, let's just stick with that.
Like when we were saying Nico. Baltimore Ravens, next pick on the board, defensive tackle David Stone, Oklahoma. Buffalo Bills, Caden Greer, inside offensive lineman from Missouri. And with the 32nd pick in the draft, the Cleveland Browns via the LA Raiders select Kenyatta Jackson Jr., defensive end, an edge rusher from Ohio State, who's a great player, by the way. That is a damn deep draft, first of all. That's my first comment on that draft. That's deep. And secondly, how many SEC players versus the big, Bri? Because it sounds like it was
14 to 12. 14 to 12.
SEC
and
wins.
Notre Dame had 3, ACC had 1, and Big 12 had 2.
So the SEC wins 14 to 12?
SEC won 14 to 12. Big 10 and SEC had 26 of the 32 picks.
Am I imagining things, John, or is the gap closing between those two leagues?
Well, I probably, yeah.
That's a little observation. I don't know. I'm just grabbing. That was from Sports Illustrated. I know you're going to tell me that's the wrong one. I just grabbed and,
Well,
who knows what it is, but it's interesting that, and then Bruce Feldman. Are you a Bruce Feldman guy, John? What do you think of him?
Sat next to him in a press box in Georgia one year. Nice to talk to. Seems has good sources.
He did a thing called College Football Freaks List.
Uh-huh.
And this is like a different list. These are guys that are just dynamic players and fun to watch.
I saw that.
Okay, his first guy on that list.
It's the Combine Warriors.
Nick Harbor from South Carolina.
Yeah, he's like
he's nasty.
He's how tall is he? Is he 6'5"? He's a big guy.
6'6",
Like
243.
he's like an Olympian runner.
Yeah, he's like a 10, 100 meters or something.
This is why I love the SEC, because we have a preponderance of these players in this league. These great, dynamic college players.
And he's not. I mean,
We're not saying whether he's an NFL pro. Who cares?
No, but he's just impressive athlete.
Yeah, 6'6", 243, 35-inch arms. Now I have 35-inch arms on a 5'11", 1/2 inch frame. It's why I'm excellent at like pick-up basketball. I'll swipe the ball away from you.
Could you run 100 meters?
Sure, I could run it. It would take me about 2.5 years to get there. With my Italian free-flowing blood pumping through my veins. His number 2 freak is Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State. Write these out, Bri. Chart these for me. Then we'll go back to our phones. In a show where callers are always, and I mean always, going to come first.
I missed the first two. Go through the first two again.
The first two are one SEC, one Big Ten.
It's 1 and 1. I've got it, Tony.
I love some of these guys because they're worth watching out for. Amari Washington, defensive tackle from Oregon. He came in the list last year, number 4. He's one of those total like muscle-bound freaks. He's trimmed down to 327.
Wow.
And he ran 20 miles per hour recently at 327 pounds.
He's a bit frail now compared to what he was, isn't he?
Next guy up is Jackson Cantwell from Miami, offensive tackle. His father's Christian Cantwell, 5-time world champion, won the silver medal in the shot put. And
what position does he play?
He is a offensive tackle. At 15, he bench pressed 405 pounds, Matt, 4 times at 15. Vertically pressed 31 inches and broad jumped at the age of 14.
Yeah, but he only did it 4 times?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a weakling.
Jaden Woods is number 5 on that list from Florida. We'll keep going down the list. Number 6
what's
is
so freakish about Jaden Woods?
Jaden Woods, and there's a video of him. Jaden Woods was a former 6A state champion in the shot put, discus, and broad jump. He broad jump 10.5, vertical jump 33.5 inches, ran a shuttle of 4.28. And then at Florida now, he can squat 555 pounds, power cleans 365, and he's 6'3", 250. He now power cleans 405, did that a couple weeks ago, ran 20 miles an hour on the GPS while bench pressing 385.
What is that 20 miles an hour on a GPS? How do they do that?
I guess they put a GPS on you and you run. And you run like
you're on a treadmill.
Yeah.
I thought they did it on a treadmill.
Probably. The rapper Andy did 15 miles an hour. See, now we're going to get silly. The rapper Andy told...
Andy's on the honorable mention on this list.
Andy told Bino... Bino asked Andy, could we see you on your treadmill workout? Because he's training for another fight. Andy said, sure. So Andy set the video, and he ran 15 miles per hour for us on his treadmill. And it looked like Fred Flintstone on the intro to the Flintstones when he gets on that treadmill and he's yelling for Wilma. I mean, he was booking.
Most impressive thing about that is that you can remember what Fred Flintstone looked like on a treadmill.
Have you? It looks like I look right now with the weight I gained in Pennsylvania. Number 6 freak athlete is Arian Carter from Tennessee, with number 12 on the freaks list last year. A guy who's been so hurt we haven't even had a chance to see his verticals 42.5 inches. His bench press is 400 pounds. He's up 75 pounds. He's a former 300-meter hurdle standout in high school. Recently clocked 21 miles an hour on the GPS, 21.7, up from 21.2 last year. And, of course, Arian Carter, because the NCAA has no balls, has been neutered by the rest of the world. He has to sit because Charlie Baker has no testicles. He's a eunuch. And if he was a Zappa, he'd be a moon eunuch. But I digress.
Tony
Kamari Copeland from Virginia Tech's number 7 on the list. Number 8 on the list is the aforementioned Cade Piper from Iowa, the offensive lineman. Number 9 on the list is from Cal, Emmanuel Okoye. And Cal is what league, Bri? Let's see how good you are.
That's the ACC.
And that is
that
dumbest.
the kid here?
Emmanuel Okoye, a product of the NFL's International Player Pathway Program, was discovered by former Giant star O.C. Amenyori in 2022. Tennessee signed him in
He was a tight end
2023,
here, right?
and he began his career here at tight end. That's right.
Yeah.
But he has turned into, at Cal, a freak. Tosh Lapoy, Cal's head coach, who was like a bag man for Saban back in the day. See, he's an example. Did you like, John, the way the recruiting gurus worship these guys that just carried bags around back in the day? Do you find that humorous? Yeah, John.
It was like
Niedermeyer got worshipped by our fan base. You know what Niedermeyer did? He drove around with bags of cash and got kids to come here. I mean, is that a skill? Niedermeyer was so obnoxious. And the guy acted like a total dick. No offense to him. I hate to say that on the air. But hey, we're on the High Noon Hotline.
Bothers you.
But then there was Coach Chop. Matt, did you like how Coach Chop was worshipped behind the scene till they put him out there to coach a position? And they realized he didn't know enough X's to play tic-tac-toes.
Who are you talking about?
Levon Horbin last year. That son of a gun couldn't play tic-tac-toe. But you worshipped him. You worshipped him. You. Let's move along. Number 10 on the list. Now we've gotten a little more. Colin Simmons out of Texas, the edge rusher, John. 2025 first-team All-America. Some of these guys and the things they can do, according to this, if half of it's true, these guys are freaks. Number 11 is Devon Jackson, Oregon linebacker. Number 12 is, John, help me out with this pronunciation. He's from Florida State. M-I-C-A-H-I.
M-I-C-A-H-I.
You're a wizard of a word.
Mikahi.
Yeah, Makahi Danzy from Florida State wide receiver. Number 13, Jackson Lloyd, offensive tackle, Alabama. Number 14, Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. Number 15, Arkansas defensive tackle, Travian Tractor Trailer. This school keeps turning out freaks, he says. He's 6 feet 280, former state wrestling champion. Last year, he had 41 tackles, 8 TFLs, and a sack. He vertical jumps 38 inches, higher than any defensive tackles ever jumped at the NFL Combine. And he's playing in the Southeastern Conference. And this, John, is the reason, and we're going to get to this, you have a position statement on who Tennessee's starting quarterback could be. Because I tried to tell John during the break that Tennessee could play GMAC this year because he can run the ball. But he'll have guys like him getting into the ground. And what would happen to GMAC if he runs football in this league at his height and weight?
I don't think it would be positive.
I mean, Matt, could you imagine this guy tackling him from behind, even though he goes to Central Arkansas, not Arkansas, but still. He's at Central Arkansas, Bry. Next guy is from Troy. But your proclamation, let's bury the lead here. Your proclamation about GMAC, or about the starting quarterback, is around Faison Brandon, because I'm going to ask Cinco about this tomorrow. Go ahead.
Well, I just thought I've been probably raising my opinion of Tennessee. The closer we get to the season, perhaps that's a mistake. I've made the same mistake before. But I feel like if Faison Brandon is good enough to start with as a true freshman, that Tennessee could go 9-3 this year.
Matt, do you agree that he enhances their ceiling and might lower their floor because he's a true freshman? I think that's probably what the coaches are debating. Maybe he lowers the floor, but he does enhance the ceiling. Matt, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
9-3, Matt? Is 9-3 possible with him?
Yeah. I mean, it's not solely dependent on him, but yeah. 9-3 is possible. But I mean, the ceiling of the floor part is what coaches care about, and you got those early games for Georgia Tech and Texas that are certainly losable. But yeah, he definitely gives you the by far the highest upside.
All right, it's a high noon overtime presented by our friends at High Noon. Let's go back to our phones. The next guy, Bryce from New Mexico. The next guy's from NC State. The next guy is DeAndre Hardiman from Rice. Next guy is a linebacker from Clemson. Next guy's from Rutgers. I got one from Virginia, Bry. I got another kid from Alabama, Daniel Hill, a running back we're going to have to deal with. Won't turn 21 till the week before the Iron Bowl.
Why do we care about that?
I don't know. He's number 24 is Francis Brew from Notre Dame.
Brew too.
Brewu. Brew. Francis Brew. Tony Rojas from Penn State, linebacker. Tennessee tried to get. Let's see. Deshaun Womack from Auburn, a defensive end, is on this list. Kamari Brown is on this list from Iowa. Chase Mason from South Dakota State. Brenton Inky Jones from Ohio State, a defensive back.
Are you still interested in this?
Desmi Ali from Youngstown State is on the list. Matt, what do you think of this exercise, doing this on the air? You're right. I should go to the phones. Hi, welcome.
Let's take
in.
some scores.
It's going over like a turd in a punch bowl. Hi, welcome in.
I forgot how and why it even started.
I just wanted to make the case that we got freaks in our league.
SEC has 9 freaks. The Big Ten has 8 so far.
Is that really true?
No, I'm lying.
Let's go to the phones.
True.
Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Am I on?
Yeah, Boy Billy, welcome in.
Hey, Tom. Hey, John.
Hey.
Hey, I didn't call during Festivus. I like to do my work face to face. It's only verbal, not physical, Tom.
There you go.
Hey, yeah, Tom, how much weight did you gain? About a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 3-year-old? What are we talking? I know, it's been a little bit, but how much is it?
I weighed myself the other day. I'm as heavy as I've been maybe in my life. But I gained, I thought I was losing weight, and I gained 10 pounds. I guess when you eat corn chips with every meal, even when you're eating salad, I guess you gain weight.
You got to eat a lot of protein. That'll help your metabolism. You won't gain as much.
There you go. So I'm going heavy on the meats this week, man. I'm going heavy on the meats and low on the carbs this week. I lost 3 pounds yesterday.
Hey, don't get gout, man. Hey, Tom, on that hat, man, when you turned it around backwards, man, I expected to see a kangaroo logo, man. I'm kind of disappointed. You cheaped out.
I said it was an off-label. I said it was an off-label goal that I got on the streets in New York City. Like, you buy fake Rolexes. I got this thing above Chinatown. You've been there, man. You know that.
Yeah, how much did it cost?
I know the game, but yeah.
This thing, how much this costs?
Yeah.
$6. I'll wear it playing music. It's Kangol.
I mean, that's a pretty good deal for $6.
Fake Kangol. It's holding up well.
Did you talk them down from 10 or what?
Yeah, of course. It was started out 12 or 13. You know how the game's played. You're in the shoe biz.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hey, and Tom, lastly, man, you just read 2 lists of about 60-some names, bro.
Right.
Come on, dog. Crazy.
Do you not find that entertaining and good radio?
Somebody might somewhere, man, but I just got an overall comment. You said this whole show has been serious, and I definitely agree, man. I've been out here listening. It's all who's better, my team, my league, your league. All this debate, man, looking like we barely evolved past stoning each other to death. We're still operating turf wars like the apes trying to camp out next to the fruit trees. I'm not trying to kill the viewership, Tom. I'm just going to be out here and enjoy the games and watch them just like everybody else. But, it's 88 and sunny outside, Tom. I'm out in the woods having a Grangeville time. I'm not trying to be on here, debating who's better, Vanderbilt or Minnesota. What are we doing?
What do you think of Boy Belly, who's come from the left corner of your mind today?
I think he's made some valid points. I think those 2 lists you just did were probably one of the low points of the year.
Can you answer me a question, Boy Billy? Do you think I overpaid for this hat at $8?
Or do you think $6 you said?
Or $6?
So
or do you think it looks good on my? You think it looks good on me? And you think I look pretty fly today?
You're asking me one thing, I'm answering with another. I get what you're doing. You got a lot of respect for the U.S. dollar. You want to keep them and hold on to them and whatnot. I believe in that. But if you're going to go fake, do the Rolex, do the Louis Vuitton thing when it's $2,000, $3,000. if it's a $48 Kangol or whatever, buy the real one, man. Get the kangaroo on your head.
Well, Tony doesn't care about name brands. Never
Well.
has, never will.
Although I did buy an Adidas hat. Of course, it doesn't have a name on it or anything, but to supported the Adidas brand now that they're with Tennessee. I got it at let's see, TJ Maxx clearance hat.
Did you pay more for the Adidas hat or the fake Kangol?
I would say the
The
Adidas,
Adidas hat was $11.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of off-printed World Cup shirts there too.
Well, Billy, I mean, you were knocking our list. I don't see where this conversation's moving the needle much either.
Oh, Billy! I mean, now we're going to talk about work rate. Your work rate's not exactly stellar. Go!
Hey, man, it is what it is. Everybody's going to be a critic, man.
That's right. Thank you, Billy. You're out of here. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Gino, Adam.
And there you go. And see, that's what you do. All right, let's get back to the list. So,
No,
31
please
is
don't.
edge
Stop,
rusher
Tony.
Otto Saka.
Nobody cares.
Oh.
Where's he from?
He's Texas A&M.
That's what I thought.
31 is Landon Humphreys from Georgia, or 32 rather. 33
Hey,
is
Tony, excuse me, but how many names are on this list?
100.
Please. Come on, Tony.
Great time breaking down the bottom 75 with Cinco tomorrow.
You know what I've got? You know what I've got to do? I've got to get to the doctor. Laura just texted me.
Why?
My urologist.
Well, let's don't go any further than that. We've heard enough.
Well, I had that.
That's enough.
Infection I ended up in the hospital with 4 years ago, so I go twice a year. Once a year. I go once a year.
Tony, nobody cares.
He's a good man.
But nobody cares.
He's a good man.
Listening.
People care.
A freak list of Basilio callers would be kind of interesting.
A what?
A freak list of Basilio callers. I'll tell you what, John, for next week, put together your 5 favorite freaks. That guy's got to be on it. That boy Billy guy. Talked about living he's out in nature, and he's got nuts and berries and honey, and talked about loving everybody. Boy, Billy, it's 2026, man.
I didn't think he mentioned about loving anybody.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he said, I'm not here to divide. We're here to unite.
I kind of zoned out just the way on his call, just the way I did on your list. Yeah, your freak list. Well, let's don't wait. Let's don't wait on that.
Too, yeah.
I talked about this on the air last week.
What's that?
Somebody complained about how you eat while you're doing the show.
And that's why I'm getting off today before I eat. And my lunch, because to the person that complained, I want you to know that I'm going to have my lunch all by myself, to quote Glenn Fry.
I don't remember Glenn Fry writing
I'm
that.
already gone. Already gone. You're going to have to eat lunch all by yourself. And you're going to have to eat your lunch all by yourself.
So,
because me, I'm already gone.
Well, since you're already gone, I'll talk. And
you talk, I'll eat.
How many times, Tony, you don't have to answer, just hold up a finger. How many times have you offered me food while you're eating? Well, I've been here on the studio. That would be 0. See, you lived here a long time, but you don't understand Southern hospitality.
Matt, were you for or against the slurping noise I just made, and will that draw heat from people?
I'm against all the weird noises you make.
Okay,
during the show.
Matt, what would you rather? Would you rather listen to Tony slurping noises while he eats, or listen to one of his lists?
Probably a list, but there's a whole lot. I mean, dead air might be better.
Number 33, L.J. McCrae from Florida. Number 34
let's go
is
back.
Sahir West.
Okay, freak callers. I got to lead off with my man who is in the books is going to sing happy birthday to Jennifer Morris. His Titans Bill is number 1. And then we'll go from there. We'll go to number 3 because Titans Bill has got.
My brother who I was staying with didn't think Titans Bill was real. till he heard his list of octogenarian women that he found hot.
Yeah.
And my brother said, wow.
Just wow.
Wow.
Did he elaborate, or was
No,
that it?
he just went, wow.
What? So next on the list would be number 3, because Titansville is so far ahead. There's no number 2. Who would be next? I think Brian could give me a number 2 real quick off the top of his head. Brian, who would you put as number 2? Or number 3, I should say.
I'd put maybe Greg. Greg or Peggy.
Greg in Columbia.
Really? Why would you put Greg?
I'd put Peggy up there.
You put Peggy. Why Peggy? Well, no, wait. You don't need to explain it. I got you. Okay, then Matt, do you agree with those, Titans, Bill, and Peggy 1, 2, or do you have somebody better on the freak list?
There's only one caller that's 2-0 in the ring, and so I think he has to be number 1 to me.
Ooh, yeah. But
and 3-0 if you want to count a rap battle.
He beat Florida like he was mad at him.
Florida was better, and you know it. And I'm a huge Andy fan, but Florida was better. Does Florida really? Does he qualify for the freak list? He's a really good caller. I don't know if he qualifies for the freak list.
Sure,
he does.
He's a freak. Sure.
Why is he a freak though?
Florida. He lost a rap battle to Andy.
He did lose.
Florida got mollywop. Florida got mollywop. Andy mollywop Florida.
You haters that say I eat on the air, I do not eat on the air. It was never my intention. John kept me on today.
I would go, you know what? I got to go, okay, if Peggy's, I'll put Titansville number 1, Peggy number 2, and I got to go with rapper Andy number 3, and he's ahead of Florida on this list, but.
What about Mike Griffith? Somebody asked. Everybody knows.
No. Okay, I got it.
There's a Taco Bell commercial I saw yesterday that sounds like Mike Griffith is doing the voiceover.
Give it to me, Brian. What's the guy say?
It's I forget I think it's for their one of their new features they pulled out, but I mean, it sounded just like Mike Griffith.
Disease that's going around. What
have you heard about it?
Have I heard of?
No,
what?
Mike Griffith on the Taco Bell commercial. They might be doing that.
You think Griffith? Wait a minute, Tony. Brian, what is the talk? Do Mike Griffith on a taco commercial, please?
Brian, you can do it. Come on.
I can't.
Just give us a hey man, make a run for the border.
Come on.
I don't even know if that's even
hey,
a slogan.
Man, make a run for the border. Don't make a run for diarrhea, man. Make a run for the border, man.
Okay, so
that's good.
So Dante had diarrhea against LSU and fumbled.
So
Dante's hands had diarrhea.
That one off season, he kept playing the greatest hits, and he was Chavis's cut man, chief man.
Okay, so we got Titans number 1, Peggy number 2, rapper Andy
walked
number
on water,
3,
man, and turned into wine, man.
Chavis worked on water.
And then I'm gonna go. Brian Hartman is Mike Griffith number 3. I mean number 4. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, you people make me
Who's
laugh.
number 5?
Because Joshy Boy told me, he said, I'm done calling you. Because we have characters. W. Lynn's got to be on the list somewhere. He's a total kook.
What is the...
no offense to him.
On the YouTube, isn't there somebody who has the W. Lynn... What's his
There's Joshy
handle?
Boy's Parlay. There's W. Lynn's Breath.
Joshy Boy's Parlay?
Yeah, there's the real Mr. Tubbs on here. W. Lynn's Breath is definitely on here. W. Lynn got a new phone where you can't hear his breathing anymore.
I want...
Matt, did you like his old phone where it's literally sounded like he was literally breathing down your throat? Like mouth-to-mouth resuscitation?
I think Joshy Boy belongs in here because of the last call I remember hearing from.
Casey Clausen's arm hair is in here too. Basilio's beak.
So, Joshy boy, what was that call that was just so inappropriate?
Oh, I love him.
What was that call?
I forget. I don't know.
Do you remember Matt? Brian?
We had to suspend him. He's so next level. Don't bring that up. My gosh.
He called about Deion. He made a joke about Deion Sanders.
Oh, that was awful. And you know what? My wife said I couldn't stop laughing. Well, that's heartless.
What about Negative? Does Negative? He's a real kook.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's a total.
How about Mark in Columbus?
He's another one. I'm telling you that the concentration of kooks that we attract. That Mark in Colombo guy.
Come on.
What?
Go on.
Well, see, I don't even think Florida's in the top 10 in terms on the freak list. Would what are you doing, Brian?
He's doing Mark in Colombo.
Go
on. What about Polly Joe?
Oh, he's a total kook.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to go. Yeah, I got to go. All right. I love you. It's high noon somewhere, and apparently
Paulie Joe's gorilla suit's got to be on that list.
We just had a Paulie Joe's gorilla suit's been in the chat before.
Has it?
Oh, yeah. Till we meet again, I love you. I appreciate you. Does Cattleman make the list?
He does.
He really wants to be badly on the list.
Gino Adams.
Does he make the list, John? You got it. It's you're the one.
Yes.
You're the pre.
He does. I think he does. Very much so.
Till we meet again. It doesn't matter, Matt, the time. It doesn't matter the subject. Vandy Dandy is always over on the chat trying to draw attention.
Who's 37 on the freak list, Tony? Could you just give me that before you sign off?
Number what?
37 on the freak list.
What number's Mike Matthews?
Hang on. Mike Matthews.
Tony, I was kidding. Nobody wants to hear that.
Lenore Sellers. And then Zach Lutmer from Iowa, Ryan Coleman Williams from Alabama, Anthony Smith from Minnesota. Are there any? There's one ball on the list, number 7.
How many passes did Ryan Williams drop? He's Ryan Coleman Williams now, but what? Gee.
And why is he Ryan Coleman? Is he going for some different juju?
No.
He got married and added his wife's name.
No, it's his mother's name.
Mother's name.
He got married and added his mother's name?
No, he just added his mother's name, I thought, out of respect for her.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's nice.
Very nice.
And also maybe people don't not connect. They won't confuse him with the guy that dropped all those passes for Alabama.
Matthews is number 71 on that list, Matt. I haven't made my way down there yet.
Yeah, you'll get in that with Cinco tomorrow.
Till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, Watson Brown will be a Watson Brown Wednesday tomorrow. Also, Joe Kurt on a Wednesday. And some more fun and frivolity. I thank Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Hey, Jennifer. Keep your phone on. Keep your phone on.
And shoot some video tomorrow afternoon.
Shoot some video. Appreciate your piece. GBO, take the vote.